What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to today's video. And rather than me going through the links to centre backs, I'm just going to ask the simple age-old question of, where's the money, John? Where is the money? Because apparently Liverpool are not planning on being active in this January window, according to Mr. Paul Joyce and some other fine journalists, unless something drastic changes. So we're going to ask the question today, why aren't we going to act in this market? Is it good enough? And what can we really expect to happen between now and the end of January? So, as always, my friends, I want you to let us know your thoughts on this situation in the comment section. Drop a like on the video and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So, the first story I'm going to bring to you comes from Christian Falk, and he said that Liverpool are ready to hold talks with Director of Football George Schmadtke in around February or March about extending his contract at the club. They said that Liverpool are very satisfied with his work and that he has gained the trust of Jurgen Klopp. I have to say, I'm absolutely fine with this. I think if you look at the business that was done in the summer, if you look at, example, the Endo deal and George Schmadtke's part in that, and of course Jurgen Klopp signalling him out, I think that's absolutely fine. So that's a bit of good news. I have no problem with George Schmadtke being involved. Endo was also given the Player of the Month, the Standard Chartered Player of the Month for December, which I think we'll all agree is very well earned. So congratulations to Arturo Endo. I'm just flying through some of the quick news as well. Preston manager Ryan Lowe has confirmed it's a possibility that Calvin Ramsey could get recalled by Liverpool in the January window. Don't know if that's for cover or because of the stop-start nature of his injuries and stuff since he's gone there. And that's pretty much where the good news ends. Now we get into the part of the stream, or the part of the video, where we start to get frustrated. Because year after year, I feel, as a Liverpool fan, like we occasionally get the bait and switch. Or we get sold a pup, and then we don't get the puppy when Christmas time comes around. And yet again, there's been talk over the last 3-4 months that Liverpool will be looking to add defensive reinforcements. But of course, the can now seems to be being kicked down the road again. Now, yes, we have cancelled the loans of some of our younger players and they have returned back to Liverpool. Owen Beck being a good example to try and provide cover on the left side. But there's also a downside to this. And if this is the plan, and look, some of these players were recalled because they weren't getting minutes, but it's also kind of coincidental that they're in areas where we may need cover for. But ultimately, they aren't the solutions. And we have to stop kicking the can down the road and hoping for the best case scenarios. I said this many times and I'm going to say it again. We don't know what next season brings. We don't know what the season after brings. We know Klopp has 2.5 years left on his Liverpool contract and I want us to win a league title now. I know that sounds selfish of me. How dare I want Liverpool to win a league title when we're top of the league table? But you know what? I want to ask the question. Does FSG really want us to win a league title? Do FSG really have the same hunger and desire for success as us fans do? Jurgen will do what Jurgen does. Jurgen will make the best of the situation, try and put a positive spin on it, talk about how tricky the January market is, talk about players not being available, lots of other bits and pieces. But deep down, when Jurgen puts his head on what I'm sure is a very comfortable pillow at night, I have no doubts that he wouldn't mind a centre-back or another player brought in. And we are going to look at Chelsea, Arsenal, maybe United, possibly City, Spurs and other clubs in and around us strengthening to try and get a Champions League spot or to try and push themselves back into the title race. And every time this happens to us, whether we're in a good situation or a bad situation, the answer seems to be the cheap option. Always the cheap option. Whether that's Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies, which were an unmitigated disaster. Whether it was bringing in Arthur Melo, which was somehow an even bigger disaster. Or recalling some of our own players to cover in areas where we have deficiencies, like at left back. Joe Gomez obviously can't play every game there because he needs to be rested himself. We've got no Costas, we've got no Robertson. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out and strengthen just for the space of a few weeks till Robbo's back, but we do need a utility full-back and we do need a centre-back because Joel Matip did his ACL. So whatever way Jurgen Klopp wants to spin it, or whichever way the media tried to buy into the narrative, we need a centre-back. And Nat Phillips is not that centre-back. If you want to push back against me on this, let me ask the question. Would you feel comfortable with Nat Phillips playing the games in the second half of the season that Joel Matip was playing in the first half of the season? My answer is absolutely not. No way, no chance, no how. Nothing but respect for Nat Phillips. This is not me going in on Nat Phillips. But there's a reason why Nat Phillips is constantly being loaned out. And that reason is because he's not going to make it long term at Liverpool. So my question is, why should we always have to settle? Why should we always have to take the cheap option? We are not anywhere near FFP problems. I've said this numerous times. We've also shown that the money is available because he put in the bid for Caicedo. I'm aware we spent 60 million since then, but even at that, you can't tell me Liverpool can't go and get a 35, 40 million pound centre back. Here are a few options for you. Lacroix, 23 years of age, from Wolfsburg, possibly available, and again, fairly realistic with regards to prices. Another option is Tapsoba of Bayer Leverkusen, 24 years of age. Final option again, another one, Antonio Silva. Yes, he's at the expensive end of it, but these are just lists and lists of centre-backs that we've seen. Van de Ven in the summer ended up going to Spurs. We looked at him, apparently that was close. We didn't make it. He went to Spurs. I want us to win the league title. I don't want to talk about the future. I don't want to talk about next year or the year after. I want to talk about the here and now. And sometimes we have to have these conversations. I understand that we have a way we do transfer business, but ultimately we want to win. We want Liverpool to have a dynasty under Jurgen Klopp. We want those trophies to be delivered. We won't ever get a better manager. We need to give him the ammunition. So I want to know how you're feeling about this news that, as it stands, Liverpool aren't going to actively look to do business in January. Breaks my heart because it's the same old routine, the same old story. Now look, I'm not trying to be a doom merchant here and say that we won't make a signing, but I don't like the narrative again that's put out there. Yes, you could counter and say Liverpool don't want their transfer business to be played out in public. That's fine. But we're 4 days into the window now. Nobody can tell me we couldn't have had a centre-back situation resolved quick, smart in this window, whether it's Inacio, Lacroix, Tapsoba, or anybody else. You can pick 4, 5, 6 centre-backs ranging from 25 million to 100 million. The options are there. And I don't see what point there is waiting until the summer, because we're admitting we need a centre-back. With all good will, Joe Matip won't be available in the summer, probably into the middle point of next season, and he's out of contract. What are we waiting for? We can't let our cheapness stop us here. We're on the edge. We're right there in the title race. We didn't think we were going to be in, and that gives tremendous credit to the recruitment team, the Klopp and the coaches. But we need to finish the job. We don't want to lose another league title by a point or two. Get it done. Give the manager the tools, and let's celebrate a league title. Let's celebrate a Europa League. Let's get Jurgen the dynasty that he deserves at the football club. So that's my say. And I will go into these things in more detail tonight at 8:30 on the Late Night Agenda. We will be live right here. Hope you can join us for that one, where you guys can, of course, have your say. But right now, I'm not being overly defeatist, but I am a little bit frustrated. And of course, we'll also be touching on the Mohamed Salah contract situation tonight, where we'll give you guys a little bit more detail on those stories that have been put out over the past day or two. So don't forget, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like if you've enjoyed the video. But most importantly, my friends, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you live here tonight at 8:30. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.